What's going on, YouTube? It's Private KJ Shot Callers Podcast back here with another daily NBA recap. Today we're going to be discussing about 4 different games that went on today. Tonight, Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. We have, like I said, 4 different games we're going to be discussing. And so let's just get right into it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you never miss a beat, okay? If you are new to this channel, my name is Kyler, Private KJ. We upload daily NBA videos twice a day, once during the afternoon around noontime, between noon and 4 o'clock, where we discuss a team, player, or anything involving kind of any news revolving around the NBA. And then at night, we discuss the recaps of the games. For today's discussion, we're going to kick this off with the Denver Nuggets and the Magic game. 110-99 was the score. I really did like the Denver's defensive game plan today. Now, although be it that Jokic did his usual triple-double, 28, 10, and 15. And typically they're going to win if he's balling out like that. Like I said, I did like the defensive game plan as they did hold Nikola Vucevic to 32% from the field, 8 of 25. He only had 18 points and 7 rebounds. Now, I understand that it's not terrible numbers for an average player, but Nikola Vucevic is a all-star at the end of the day, and a borderline star caliber player, and he was just put in a bird box today. Aaron Gordon also did not shoot the best today from 3, only shot 1 of 5, 13 points from him. And I did like how Denver specifically was able to keep Aaron Gordon from getting easy buckets at the paint, because that's what he typically does to get himself going. Now, Evan Fournier did have a really good game, 31 points from him. It's the fact that outside of Fournier, no one else really stepped up all that much. I mean, I guess you could say Al-Farouq Aminu, 17 and 10 and 6. Shout out to him, 2 steals and a block. But if Al-Farouq Aminu is your second best scorer on the night, you're typically not going to win. And there wasn't really much production from anywhere else. The bench literally combined for, I'd say, about 15-ish points. Yeah, about 15 points. Yeah, wow. And that's not going to cut it, especially since this is a slower-paced team. And this is not a very well offensive team. For the Nuggets' offensive standpoint, I like the ball movement going around as usual. That's the type of offense they run. Jamal Murray, 21 points. Didn't need to do too much. I do like how Michael Porter Jr., though, has recently is beginning to step into his own as the third leading and a third scorer on the team. I do like to see that. Will Barton, 17 points, can explode on any given night, although it was not on great efficiency today. That general scoring was very key. PJ Dozier continues to be a very impressive player as of late. 14 points, and it's not even the points that impresses me the most. It's his versatility on the offensive and defense end. If you need him to space the floor in the corner, he can do that. If you need him to guard multiple positions, he can do that. If you need him to, I wouldn't say play make, but if you need him to, let's say, kind of create something in the last 5 seconds off the shot clock, off the wing, he can do that somewhat. Not consistently, but can do it. He can rebound. He's a very good rebounder. And like I said, he can do everything that the Nuggets need him to do. And I like that, considering that he's young. I do think he's going to grow. I do like his potential moving forward. Campazzo, albeit on not too good of a game, continues to be a great secondary ball handler and a tenacious, I don't even know if I said that right, tenacious defender. Had 2 steals today as well. I love me some Campazzo. Every time I talk about the Nuggets, I'm going to shout out Campazzo. Love me some Campazzo. Next up, we will be discussing the Wizards and the Knicks. My Wizards continue to lose, and after I thought they were on the up and up and make the playoffs, they are back to being their old selves and sucking. Rui had one of his off nights and was lacking aggressive once again, because I always discuss this with Rui. One night he'll be aggressive, and it's not even about the points. If he's aggressive with his shots, that's something I can appreciate. Another night he'll be lacking aggression. This was one of those nights. Only 13 shot attempts, which I don't think was enough, considering the circumstances that Beal and Westbrook both played around 30 minutes, and Rui played the most. And I'm not saying he should take more shots than Bradley Beal and Westbrook by any means, but I would still like to see some aggression out of him. Nonetheless, still 7 boards though, and was rebounding very well. Garrison Matthews did his thing. Not too many shots, but spaced the floor and gave it his all on the defensive end, regardless if he was getting torched or not. I will get to the Knicks side because this is more about the Knicks, but I do want to just kind of talk about the Wizards because I am a fan of them, of course. This was one of Westbrook's frustrating games where if you're a Westbrook person, or a Westbrook fan / Wizards fan, you understand what I'm talking about. Jacking up shots, not good shots, might I add. And this was just off night 3 of 14 from him. Bradley Beal, same thing, 6 of 15. And we are not going to win games if our two best players are not performing well, just because the rest of the roster is questionable at best. What else? Danny continues to be utilized in the wrong way, albeit had 14 points, like what I see out of him. Isaac Bonga gave us valuable minutes at around 15 minutes. Mo Wagner surprisingly played a little bit more. His minutes are really inconsistent. Some days I'll see him, he'll play like 20 to 24 minutes, and then he'll really get a DMP. This was one of their nights. He did have 11 points on good efficiency, so I like to see that. And yeah, those are the main guys I kind of want to discuss. But for the Knicks, which is what the main discussion is for this game, not for the video, because the Nets, obviously, as you can see in the thumbnail, Reggie Bullock did his thing, floor spacing with 10 points, but Julius Randle, oh my goodness, 37 points. He was a monster today. 70%. Oh my God, he was absolutely insane, going berserk, looking like Steph Curry, 7 of 10 from the 3-point line. Any way you name it, he was scoring in that variety. And it was crazy because they didn't even need like a bunch of this production from the other players, and yet they still got it. Let me just name the rest of the players that kind of gave them some solid production. RJ Barrett, 21 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. Alfred Payton, although he did not play a ton, I did see a lot of playmaking. He did have 4 assists. I did see a lot of distributing from him, even though, like I said, he didn't play a whole lot and didn't do too much on the opposite side. Like I said, secondary ball handler, I did like to see that from him. Alec Burks with 20 points. He did his thing. Alec Burks has been coming onto the scene this season. Although he had an injury earlier this year, he's been pretty impressive, I think, this season. Mitchell Robinson, oh my goodness, 7 of 9 from the field. I know he just gets dunks and layups, but he's a very, I emphasis on a very efficient player. 12 rebounds and 16 assists to go along with 3 blocks. Have a day, Mitchell Robinson. Manuel quickly, only 12 minutes. That is a little bit disappointing, but in those 12 minutes, he had 14 points, and shout out to him. Now, Taj Gibson did not get a DMP coach decision, and I did expect him to start playing a little bit more, but now that Mitchell Robinson's back and that Nerlens Noel kind of proved that he deserves that backup minutes, I do like seeing that. Not that Nerlens Noel is bad or anything. I just expected Taj Gibson to at least get some sort of run. But I did forget that Mitchell Robinson has been injured for a little bit. And I don't know. I just kind of thought that the difference between Noel and Gibson wasn't that much. And I was clearly mistaken, as Noel did a very impressive job filling in for Mitchell Robinson's shoes while he was gone. But like I said, this was a day for the Knicks. Julius Randle cooked up. Poor defensive game from the Wizards, but what else are you going to expect from them? It's the freaking Wizards. Next up, we have the Pelicans and the Lakers. This was, of course, without LeBron and, of course, AD. And yet, I'm not going to excuse anyone from the Lakers because this was just not a great defensive game whatsoever. And that's the one thing that I thought would at least maintain. It was that they would at least be a passable, like an average defense without LeBron and Anthony Davis. And as of this game, it did not seem that way. Now, I do understand that those two are elite defenders, and maybe I am wrong about believing that, but it is just one game. And there still would be plenty of games to play without LeBron, so we will see on that. But knowing that, oh my gosh, I can't even think of his freaking name, and it's making me mad because I'm going to look like an idiot. The coach for the Lakers. We'll get back to that in a second. I just thought this would be a better defensive game overall. Brandon Ingram did his thing, Zion did his thing, and it did not seem that anyone was uncomfortable. And that's what the issue was. Frank Vogel, that's who it is. Okay, so I expected a better defensive game plan from Frank Vogel. I'm so sorry about that. But Kyle Kuzma, let me talk about them before I get to the Pelicans. 16 points from him. Markieff Morris, 16 points from him. And there was multiple people that scored double-digit points, but you simply just won't win if Schroeder, because I believe that Schroeder and Montrezl are the two best scorers on this team, and Schroeder literally shot 2 for 10. Harrell only took 10 attempts, 5 for 10, which isn't bad, but he needs to be shooting the ball a little bit more, need to be a little bit more aggressive on that side of the ball. I did enjoy seeing Wesley Matthews get 20 minutes and 55% shooting. I do like to see that because they're going to need him to step up, considering he hasn't been too impressive this season. But if he's shooting like this, they have nothing to worry about with him. I did expect Talen Horton-Tucker to play a little bit more, only took about 19 minutes from him. But nonetheless, it is okay because Caruso filled in for those minutes. I do think that they should try to get to Horton-Tucker a little bit more minutes because they're going to need that scoring punch. But for the Pelicans standpoint, Brandon Ingram and Zion did the thing. 36 points from Brandon Ingram and 27 and 9 from Zion. Those two did not feel uncomfortable whatsoever. They were basically given their spots that they wanted to take. Zion, there was no double teams, or at least a lack of consistent double teams thrown at Zion, which was very odd to me. Steven Adams did his thing, not too much, but he has a role in this team, and he did a very good job today. Shout out to Nickeil Alexander-Walker stepping up big, same with Jackson Hayes and Kira Lewis. The three of them combined for about 40 points, and that's something that you'd like to see from this Pelicans bench unit, okay? On the last game of the day, we're going to be discussing the Brooklyn Nets that just finished, by the way. This was a really good game, and this is why they are the main talk, because people have been questioning, is the Nets team really a super team? And I believe, yes, they are. They have 3 superstars and a good supporting cast with an elite coaching staff. Mike D'Antoni, everyone needs to keep forgetting that Mike D'Antoni is a part of that team, and it has been so crucial because now that Kyrie is now out for a little bit and KD's still been out, this is literally the Houston Rockets all over again. And this is why it's frustrating me, because everyone wants to talk about, well, how good are they with just Harden? Can they keep? Of course they can keep this going. Bro, it was literally Harden for a certain period of time. There would be times where it was just Harden, Westbrook, and Paul would be out, and it was shooters all around him. This is the exact same thing, I kid you not, that the Houston Rockets were doing. And people need to stop forgetting about that, okay? James Harden today did not shoot the ball well at all. 29% from the field and 0% from three. So had 25 points, 11 of 13 from the free throw line. Keep track of that. 25, 17, and 7 with only 4 turnovers. That is insane, considering the fact that he couldn't buy a shot to save his life. And let me just kind of go down the shot attempts, because I'll go down the points too. Shot attempts of the role players. Joe Harris, 3 of 6, 17 points, by the way. Jeff Green, 2 of 6, 20 points, by the way. Let's see. Wow, those are actually the only people that really shot too much. Timothy Dual Cabarrot made a 3. Blake Griffin took 2 threes today and only had 20 minutes today. Tyler Johnson attempted 2 threes today. Everywhere you look, it's just snipers along the line outside of DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, and Nicholas Claxton. And that, it just blows my mind, because when KD and Kyrie come back, I don't see anyone stopping them, including the Lakers. I'm sorry. And I am a LeBron fan. He's my GOAT over MJ. I'm sorry. And I just can't find a scenario where the team this lethal can be stopped. Because at the end of the day, in Mike D'Antoni's system, which has been a little bit more improvised because of I do like Steve Nash having some sort of off-ball movement, not much, but some sort of off-ball movement, which is better than what Mike D'Antoni had. That is a huge thing. The defense, by the way, has been passable ever since we all ripped on it at the beginning of the season being one of the worst. They have at least been passable, which is the biggest reason why I think they've been this good, basically. Now, from the Blazers standpoint, Damian Lillard did not shoot the ball well this game, and I do believe if he did shoot well this game, they would have won. Same with CJ McCollum, but there's nothing to hang their heads out. Enes Kanter is the player of the game for the Blazers. He absolutely went off. 10 offensive rebounds is ridiculous on its own. 19 boards, 19 points, 6 assists. I have a friend named Jacob, and a block, by the way. I have a friend named Jacob who started him in fantasy tonight. Absolutely is reaping the benefits. What a night from Enes Kanter. No one else outside of Robert Covington really consistently stepped up when it mattered most. Carmelo Anthony, too, had a good game. But like I said, when your top 3 scorers, which is I believe to be Gary Trent, CJ McCollum, and Damian Lillard, as in score first kind of guards, aren't all playing very well or shooting the ball very well, I think that'll be the biggest reason. Now, Gary Trent only played 25 minutes. I did shoot 3 of 5, but he only had 7 attempts, and I did expect him to shoot the ball a little bit more, even though I do understand CJ McCollum is back. But nonetheless, good win for the Brooklyn Nets without Kyrie and KD, and I do expect them to keep this rolling even without them, because they have Harden, who is a top 5 player in the league, top 6, no, 5. 5 this year, definitely, with the supporting cast of a bunch of shooters. With that said, that will conclude today's video. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, turn on post notifications, and with that said, Private KJ out.